Hello, hello, hello. It's so funny. Sometimes it says recording in progress, and other times I get nothing. And so I sit here and I'm like, is it recording or is it not? Okay, we are going to go through a just lovely, well needed, gentle stretch. This is a rest week stretch. It can be done at any point. This is our rest week. So I thought I would just share a little bit of things that I do. It's typically the things that we do in our typical mobility and stretching work, but just really giving yourself that time to slow down and enjoy. Okay, you need absolutely nothing but yourself. If you do like to prop your hips up while you are seated on the floor on a pillow or on blocks. I have a really yummy lip balm on right now and Zoe's loving it. Okay, so we're just gonna start seated. Just take your hands to your lap in whatever way that looks for you. Hands on the knees, facing down for some grounding, palms facing up. If you'd like to receive some energy, maybe it's hands to heart and belly, maybe it's just in the lap, whatever it is. Choose any of those positions for you. And just taking some nice big, slow inhales and exhales. Just a couple more here. Feeling that expansion as you breathe. And that sensation of letting go as you exhale. Really expanding one more time. Big breath in and out. On your next inhale, let's draw those shoulders up towards those ears. And then exhale, release those down. Okay, we'll do that 2 more times. Big breath in, drawing the shoulders up. It's always doing your breath work with us. Exhale down. Lovely sigh. One more time. Big breath in, drawing the shoulders up. We'll bring the right ear towards that right shoulder. We're just going to kind of do a little floss with that neck from going back and forward. So the chin comes towards the chest and then it kind of comes up. Feeling all the feels. Not even kidding you. I am still sore from Saturday's last workout of the block last week. Holy moly. It was a doozy to finish. Good. Okay. We'll come back up through center. Nice big inhale, draw the shoulders up, and we'll take the left ear over towards the left shoulder. We're going to do a little bit more shoulder and neck work here, but we're going to just do that little floss on that left side. Going slow, just getting the range that feels good for you. Good. And then all the way back up through center. Okay, so we're going to come back to the left side to stretch. What we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand. We're going to get a nice little juicy grip on that trap muscle. You're going to feel it. That's where a lot of us carry our stress. Give a squeeze and bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. You are shortening that muscle right now. Squeeze and then bring your right ear over slowly to the right side. And then release that grip and bring the left ear back over. So we're going to do that a couple of times each side. So you're giving that squeeze as the muscles shortened, left ear to left shoulder, pulling right ear to right shoulder. Okay, one more time there. Left ear towards left shoulder, shorten. Give a nice big squeeze there, and then pulling down and away as you come to that side. That's intense today. Okay, let's take that left hand over to the right side. So again, doing that same thing where you're bringing the right ear towards shoulder, giving that squeeze, pulling left ear towards left shoulder. So good. One more times, taking your time, release the grip as you come over, and then really pull, squeeze. You're almost trying to like pull, shift that muscle away from the side. Do that one more time. Good. Nice job. Okay, from there, we'll just release the hands back to the lap. Just give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls here. Okay. So nice, so nice. Okay, anchor those hands towards those knees. You're going to stay in your seated position. Option if you do want to switch legs, if you feel like you always sit this way, maybe it's a good switch. We're just going to do some nice big soupy rolls here. So thinking of that belly button, drawing a circle rotating around, thinking of what's happening through the hips and through that low back. And then we'll change the direction there, go the opposite way. This feels good, just that slow, gentle movement. Good, and then from there, we'll take those arms all the way up, big breath in. And then exhale, fold forward over top of those legs, taking those hands towards the floor in front of you. Notice if it feels good to round or lengthen through your spine. Either are totally fine. So just rounding, thinking of creating the space through the back ribs, through the low back. Maybe you're feeling this one. I am feeling this a lot through my hips and also through my glutes here. Taking one more breath as you are. Good, and then come on back up. Okay, we're gonna take the soles of the feet together. Okay, soles of the feet come towards one another. We're gonna take that right hand in behind us, and that left hand's gonna come to the right knee. Sit nice and tall, give yourself a nice little twist over to the right. Think of both knees pressing down towards the floor, breathing here. Inhale in and exhales, nice and slow. Just enjoying that nice little gentle twist. And then come back through center. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand to hook to the left knee, twisting over to your left side this time, sitting tall, breathing here. Big breath in and big breath out. Good. Coming back through center. This one usually is a little bit harder. We'll take that big inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, hips are tight. Exhale, forward fold over those legs. So you might notice that you won't go as far in this position, or maybe you will. We will all be different. You are just trying to enjoy that nice inner thigh hip stretch here into the groin, breathing into that back body for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice job. All right, come on up. We got 1. Is this the last one? Yes, this is the last seated position. We're going to take those legs out to a straddle. Oh, that feels good after sitting that way. We'll flex those toes up nice and high. We're going to take a nice big inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, sweep over right hand over to the left as the left sweeps over to the right. Inhale back up through center. Left arm reaches over, right arm comes across. You're kind of just doing this circular motion with the arms. Inhale to come up, exhale to reach. Keep the legs engaged, toes are flexing up. Inhale to come up, exhale to reach. Good. 2 more. Big breath in. Exhale, reach. That feels good through the side body. Big breath in, exhale, last reach. Good, and maybe you'll know where we're going next. Big breath in, arms come all the way up. Exhale, fold. So we've done 3 different fold variations so far with 3 different leg positions, getting into similar places, low back, hips, groin, all of the things. Notice which option feels best for you, whether you're lengthening, so nice long spine, or rounding, you choose. We breathe here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice job. Oh, feels so good. Okay, we're gonna make our way to a kneeling position for, we're gonna get into some pelvic tilts, getting into the hips here a little bit, doing some different variations here. So we'll start with the right knee down and that left foot in front. Okay, take those hands to your hips, all right? And we're just gonna start with shifting through the pelvis. You're gonna do your anterior and posterior tilts, so tucking under and then tucking back or sticking out the tail, whichever way you wanna think of that. And I want you to focus on that hip flexor as you move. Another option here is you can take the hand towards the front and the hand towards the back to really help guide the pelvis as it shifts. So whatever position for those hands feels good for you. This might be some serious work. It is hard for me because the hip flexors are quite tight. Okay, we're just gonna do a couple more forward and back. 1 more time, nice and slow, forward and back. And then from there, we're gonna keep that tuck of the tail. So tuck your tail, then shift that left foot forward. And you're gonna come into just a nice little lunge here. I want you to focus on keeping that tailbone tucked under. You can take those hands towards the right knee. You can keep the hands to the hips. depending on how far you are. Shouldn't be too far because we're just breathing into that hip flexor to start. We're gonna make our way down nice and slow. Keep tucking that tail. We'll take another little shift, a little bit deeper maybe. The tuck is gonna slowly start to release, but we still wanna think of keeping that engagement the entire time. Keep breathing there. Maybe getting a little bit deeper. If you have yoga blocks, great place for those to be by your side for support, or you can take those hands towards those knees. Big breath in, big breath out. And then we're gonna come to probably close to your lowest of the lunge, where you're gonna notice that you're gonna have to release that tuck a little bit, but I still want you to keep that engagement through the low abdominals and that slight tuck of the tail. And then we'll take those hands to the inside of the left foot. So just below your shoulders, and then heel toe that left foot out towards the side. I'll turn myself here so you guys can see. So we're in our nice lizard stretch here. Couple of options for you in lizard. You can stay right up on those hands. You can come down to the forearms. Another great place for yoga blocks. You can elevate yourself forearms there if that feels good. Sometimes we're in like that halfway point where on our hands is a good stretch, but maybe it's not enough. But the forearms are too much. So if you can come to forearms on yoga blocks a little bit lower than the extended arms, that's awesome. Okay, take one more big breath in right here. And then we're gonna heel toe that left foot over to the right side to come down into pigeon pose. So if pigeon is not comfortable for you, you could always do the 90-90 variation. The modified version, lift up your back right knee, untuck those back right toes at the back. We'll come up first into that nice extension through the back body. Big inhale, maybe even lifting that chin and lifting the gaze. And then as you exhale, you can come down to those forearms. All of that feels so, so good. Choosing the option for you, you can extend your arms straight out in front. You can stay up on those forearms. Maybe you'll even walk those hands or the forearms slightly over to the right. You can also add a little bit of a rock into your pigeon to add a little variation. So pressing into that left hip and glute and then rocking out. Awesome. If it's really intense for you, then that gentle little rock, a little bit deeper into it, helps open up that hip and glute. Maybe, maybe not for you. Good. Keep breathing there. So good. We're going to stay for about 20 more seconds on this side. Amazing. Take one more big breath in. And then whatever you were doing, make your way back to centered forearms. Press yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck your right back toes. We're going to lift our hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Now, I want you to take it into, it doesn't have to be a massive dog. We're just gonna go into a nice little slow pedal into those feet, into the calves. Oh my goodness. All of the feels over there. Nice job. And then from there, we'll lower those knees down towards your mat, press your hips back, untuck the toes, come into a nice little child's pose there. So we were into some big hip openers. Now we're coming into that counter stretch to close those hips off. Then we're going to switch to the other side. Coming back up onto those knees, taking that right foot in front, left knee is down. Take those hands back to the pelvis, the hips. Then you can start those rocks forward and back. That nice little tuck of the tail, releasing there, but really focusing on that left side hip flexor, left side quad. Good. Forward and back. Ooh, all the feels, all the feels. Okay, a couple more. Then we're going to come into that static tuck hold position. So that nice tuck of the tail. Wiggle those right toes slightly forward, and then you're going to come into that low lunge. Okay. I haven't stretched yet today, and that's very clear. Okay, so you're in your nice low lunge. Remember, you can have your yoga blocks here. If you have them, you do not need to have them. We're breathing here. We're getting that nice active engagement by tucking through that tail. Take another big breath in. And then maybe wiggling a bit further forward, coming into that deeper lunge. Just focusing on the breath. This might not be too intense for you. Maybe it's tight. Just focusing on where you can bring that energy and breath. All right, coming a little bit deeper. Maybe this is a place for your hot blocks on the highest level or hands towards that knee. Still trying to keep that tuck as much as you can. And then really sinking into that right knee. This is your final one before the hands will come down towards your mat. Breathing into those hips for 3, for 2, and releasing those hands down. They come just below those shoulders. You are now in your lizard. Maybe a little heel toe of that right foot. That right knee is tracking those right toes. Again, forearms, extended arms on your blocks. You choose what feels good for you. And just focusing on the breath. Trying to release any tension through the face and through the low back and through the hips as you are here. Big breath in and big breath out. We'll do one more cycle of breath. If you were on those forearms, make your way back up. We're going to heel toe that right foot all the way over to the left side, coming into your pigeon. Right shin comes down. Pick up that back left knee, left untuck those left toes. Coming extended, taking that nice big breath in there. Lengthening, remember you can always lift the chin, lift the gaze to get that full extension. And then you could make your way down onto the forearms. Extended, you choose maybe that little twist. I'm going to go back into that little gentle rock, coming over into that right hip and glute. Okay. And then back in through center. Just always feels so good. Just gentle here. You can close your eyes. Just focusing on what you need to breathe into. Besides your nose, we're breathing into those tight places and spaces. Good. Okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. Last 10 seconds. Enjoy it. Maybe you want to just be in static. Maybe you want to be in another position. Maybe one more deep breath in wherever you are. So good. Okay. Back to the forearms. When you are ready, press back up onto those hands. And then from there, tuck the back left toes. We're taking it back into that downward dog, pedaling it out one more time. Pressing into those heels. Nice job. Okay, from here, we'll shift ourselves forward, coming into a nice seated position here, extending those legs all the way out in front. We got one more forward fold to finish. Flex those toes all the way up. Take a nice big breath in. Sweep the arms all the way up overhead. And then exhale, forward fold over those legs. Reaching for what you can, toes, shins, ankles, rounded spine, flat spine, legs extended, legs bent. You choose. We breathe into that whole back body for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and release. Oh, all of the back body work. That was really good. Those forward folds, getting into the low backs, getting into those hips. Hopefully that helps. Let's opens up things for you a little bit there. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your rest week. Stay tuned. I'm sure more to come. All the things. Bye, everyone.